There we go. Now my microphone should be... Yeah, when the power went out, which is what happened, it also took the thing with me. God damn it. Alright. Don't think I've ever watched the setup section. Phil always cuts it. Yeah, I usually have it done beforehand. Sorry, I wasn't muted. It's just power outage plays funny buggers with things. Oh god, super fast. I'm also noticing that this car has canards. I didn't notice that before. Was that even there last time? I think that wasn't there last time. Am I mistaken? Mutant Man 86. Absolute professionalism. I wish I had a better power supplier, but we only have one power supplier here in South Australia, and that's another state, because for some reason they shut down our power stations and did a really bad job of making it good. The system is absolutely atrocious. We had a light breeze in about, like, I think 2016, 2017 sort of time period, and it took down the power for, like, for me, I think it was a couple of days. Some people apparently lasted months without power, which I don't understand how. It was just a few power lines in a straight line. Just fix them and be on with it. 2 streams in one right now? What? What? 2 streams in one night. My brain is not working very well. I'm very tired. We're back now? Yeah, we're back. All right. So, I think I talked about enough about this car. I'd also like to point out that that vent is not really fitting the shape of anything else on this car, and it is very small. You're not going to be doing anything with this. The other thing about this is if this is meant to be a ducting to maybe bring air into brakes, it first has to go in here. Then you got these like really fat wide tires, so it has to make a very tight turn and maintain that velocity all the way down here, and then all the way in here. I'd also like to point out that this is not the sort of duct which will promote a lot of airflow in. An aqueduct would do it, but even still with an aqueduct, you're probably going to want it a lot further forwards, and bigger, more centralized. Yeah, it's a bit of a useless vent, unfortunately. I think it's also a trick of this body. This body, when you look at it at first, you go like, oh, that looks like a really good body to work with. It is not. Trust me. Automation is best with older cars. Things like this car and... Sorry, the cars aren't spawned because I didn't bother spawning them. Like the first car that we saw. Control E. This one. Very good for, like, beginner cars. Going with something brand spanking new, rather tricky. But you tried. Anyway, let's see what sort of running gear we have on this hypercar of ours. Welcome, Kira Yoshikage. How's it going? There are all so well made, and then mine just slapped together. I don't know which one yours is. Power outages suck. Been playing a game for some time and the power went out. Guess what? There are no auto-saving in the game. Oh no! That's unfortunate. I remember that from back in the day. Then we got 6 pistons on the front, a fairly decent sized disc as well. We have some pushrod suspension, but not all-wheel drive, so they've tried to tackle the problem of handling. See, this is why I'm getting a little tired of flat engines, is because everyone uses them. But I suppose it's not the worst thing in the world. We got some individual throttle bodies and a double overhead cam. Oh, not overhead, but like double side cam. Would you call that overhead if it's not actually over the head? It's like on the end of the head? I don't know, it's weird. Got 2 big F-off turbos. Wow, it is very rare when you see an exhaust housing that's bigger than the intake housing. That's weird. Are you aware the British GP is about to start? Comic Courts? No, I'm not. But F1 race series are happening all the time. All race series are happening all the time. It is nigh impossible for me to avoid them. What I would suggest is if the FIA puts their races on when I'm not streaming. That would be really convenient. If they could get on that, that would be fantastic. Welcome, Octane. How's it going, bro? Hey, I'm back and cooking up something for next week. Oh, nice. The Aegon is mine. Also, I'm good. How about you, dude? Which one is the Aegon? Hold on. Is it this one? Is this the Aegon? No, this is the Phoenix. I don't see anything here called the Aegon, unfortunately. Is this like an Aegon Phoenix? There's no extra information, unfortunately. Alright, yeah, no, I don't know what the Aegon is. Sidehead? Yeah, that might work. Double over a double side cam. I'm gonna watch it by. Okay, see you later, Comic Quartz. The car's going... Oh, the gearing is messed up. Pale. What? The car's gearing is messed up. Play. Don't do drugs? Probably the best bet? The Vakota. Ah, this one. I actually really like the Vakota. That car, I think, is probably my favorite looking car this week. Did not mean to post. What? The turbos are massive. They are the size of the transmission. Ah, yes. Very much so. Big, massive stuff. So let's see if this car handles really nice. What wheels, tires we got? We got semi-slicks. This is also old automation, not new automation, which is, yeah. You're also noticing that, your back end is very flat as well, though it does have more detail on the front, so I will give you that. Let's go back and have a look at the McLaren Senna's rear for another example. Lots of air exhaustion happening here. So you got lots of air coming out here as the back end dips down. Then you've got air coming out all the way across here. Then you've got air coming out here between this like divider for some reason and the rear diffuser. So lots of air expulsion. But you can't have expulsion without air intake, and you just don't have much air intake at all, unfortunately. So when it comes to supercars, think of your airflow and think about how that's going to work. Unfortunately, this is not great for drag. Finally, Gary's mod FNAF is time and I'm dumb for Russian vodka weapon. Let's move on. Anyway, this car, probably one of the more thoroughly thought out vehicles this week. As you can see, we've got fixtures running all the way up here for the body lines. Really, really cool work. They've done everything that it is they wanted to do. I struggle to use these wheel fender bits, but you've somehow managed to use them quite well, so congratulations on that. We got trim in the middle line here, then we got trim down on the lower part. I don't know about the AMC Gremlin. Let's actually have a look at that. AMC Gremlin. Oh, a lot of these didn't even have side trim at all. Okay. I was going to say that usually the side trim is at the most out part of the body, which would be probably along here. But apparently this is not based on the Gremlin? Is it AMC Pacer? No, definitely not the Pacer. Anyway, a rather cool car. I also like the fact that they've like filled in the colors that they wanted around here as well. I don't know about using cutout. You probably just could have used patchwork that goes over top instead. Which there is that sort of stuff. Or maybe they wanted to make their own shape. Ah, okay. Yeah, they wanted to add their own shape to the quarters there. Okay, pretty cool. Is this... That's also not just a hood scoop. That's multiple different fixtures so then they can get the shape that they want. Love it. In modern hypercar, there is more vent than car. That's because they're starting to realize that they're having to push the boundaries of things like aero ducting and whatnot to get the cars to beat each other. Let's go back to that for a second. No, this is not a good example. Let's have a look at the... What is it? The Aston Martin... Valkyrie? Yeah. So this is the most extreme example of a road-going hypercar at the moment. They're having to push these boundaries. Otherwise, it's just the same old, and at the moment... numbers are king when it comes to selling cars. If you can brag about your car, or just have the car and have the numbers speak for themselves, is a lot of the reason why a lot of people buy supercars and hypercars and spend so much money on it. Because now people are able to quantify things. And that's what a lot of, the Nürburgring is done. They've just made it quantifiable how fast your car is. Which, I don't mind, but it's also kind of taking the soul out of cars. I love cars that push the boundary like this. But you're not getting cool cars like this, which just look like a lot of fun, and are a lot of fun, but not particularly fast. Oh, good, honestly. A lot of the AMCs were pretty not good. Modern hypervents? Haha. Look inside the glove box. I will in a second, if that's a thing. If this car has such a long hood bulge, does it have the same straight that the straight six that the Gremlin has? I don't know. BMW with the big nostrils cough? Sure. I don't particularly hate the new BMW look. Are you challenging me to make a road legal hypercar? No. But if you want to, you can. I doubt you would be able to make exactly this without placing a million different 3D fixtures to get exactly the shapes. Your other option is to do what I'm doing at the moment. Let's go to 3. Since that's my most fleshed out one. Coming quite a long ways. I do have to go back and do it again, but yeah. Creating your own LMH body from scratch in 3D modeling. Let's go wireframe on that. So, that's what I've been working on. Maybe a little too many polygons, but it'll be fine. I prefer more polygons. I might clean up some of the mesh here on the back. That's a lot of useless polygons back here. And there is more work to do as well, as these lines don't work particularly great either. But yeah, that's the sort of thing that I'm working on. I don't need to save that. That's going to take a while though, because I'm doing a whole pack for that. Almost all hypercars are road legal, except the Vulcan. Yeah, I would agree. Also, the Vulcan is not like an extreme aero package car. I think they did the Vulcan, realized how much people were interested in actually having a car like that. Along with LMH being on the horizon, they decided to make the Valhalla, which ended up becoming the Aston Martin Valkyrie. Looking nice. How do you submit an automation car to be seen in your videos? In these streams, welcome TJW, by the way. Read the description. It's got all the links in there and everything. How about a rotor legal hypercar? There's a few of those. Oh, and hello? Yeah. Probably should have started with hello. Rear polys look torturous. Yeah, I can clean it up. It's not particularly bad. Silver Moon Ring already had, yeah, because I already did that. Huh? I'm confused. Anyway. I'm noticing that this has massive stretch on these tires. But they are radials. So these are not cross-ply tires. I don't know if they've actually given us cross-ply tires or radials. But it says radials on it, so I'm assuming that they did the right choice and actually put radials on this. Because radials in the 70s were actually something worth advertising. Because in Europe, where radials really started off as a thing, a lot of the high-end cars had it. It wasn't really until the later part of the 60s to the early part of the 70s they started to become a lot more common in America and a lot of other countries around the world, not so much in Australia. That didn't really catch on until more like the late 70s, early 80s sort of time period. I don't know, Australia is just freaking backwards country, bro. I probably should have in high and sight? Huh? You mean hindsight? Nice gremlin? Sure. I don't think it's actually a gremlin. Hello, Fresh Cut Philman. Yes, I did actually have a haircut. Welcome, sneaky Mr. Wheels. How's it going? And welcome, Javar. How's it going? Unless that J is soft and it's Havar. Glad I'm not the only one who noticed. Noticed what? What are we talking about? I weirdly like the styling of the Aston Martin Victor. Which one's the Victor? I love the Bulldog. There's something just cool about a car that was pushed so far. I got that in there twice. Oh, this car. I actually really like it. The headlights, not a big fan of. Everything else, love it. I think it just looks so imposing. Like, it doesn't have the shapely lines that Aston Martins have had over the last 20 years? It's probably how long it's been that they've started doing like big haunch sort of design. But I really do like this a lot. What's the rear look like? I think I remember looking at the rear and being like, yeah. That like retro resto mod sort of look. And you know what? Your website sucks. Open image in new tab. I want to make this a mod body. That is so freaking gorgeous. I wonder if it, like, because I really know very little about this car at all. Actually, I think basically nothing. I think it comes with a V12. That's about as much as I know. I wonder if this car is actually really good. Is it based on the Vulcan? Like, it's got the same side pod thingy as the Vulcan for the exhaust housing and a big, massive rear diffuser. God, I love this thing so much. I also want to point out one thing. Is with a lot of old cars, I wonder if we got that in, what's the name of that thing again that we're having a look at? AMC Gremlin. Rear. So, on a lot of these 70s cars, you notice that the panel line starts quite low, but then comes up a lot higher to meet the main styling part of the vehicle, which starts at around the bumper sort of area. That's how, a lot of these cars had this. So when it comes to this, you can't really do that because it doesn't look right. So what they did instead is, let's just zoom in on this a bit, is they started really low with the body line and then used the diffuser to fill that gap instead. And I think it looks phenomenal. Like, you almost don't notice the diffuser unless you look at it for more than a couple of seconds. And you're like, wow, that's a really cool looking car. And that's a really big diffuser, but only if you're really looking for it. Because even though it is an amazingly drastic diffuser to have on a road car, you somehow just don't really notice it that much. It doesn't stick out compared to the rest of the just phenomenal design of this car, and I absolutely love it. That looks like a return to the style of the 70s and 80s Vantage? Sure. Yep, it's Jubachi Champion? What are we talking about? It kind of makes me think of modern day version of a 70s Vantage. Yeah, sure. Only I always wondered what that car was based on. I don't think this car is based off of an AMC Gremlin. What I'm saying is that's like a general design sort of thing that was quite popular in the latter parts of the 60s into the 70s. It was in the 50s and into the 60s a little bit, that's when they started to change, is the bumpers were seen as kind of like a frame at the bottom of the car. It's when they started to make like the bumpers more compact, and then they would bring the back up sort of thing, is how they started to mix things up a little bit. Phil, man, now that I see the gremlin-ish car, I wish I... Oh, I just have to need to have Pacer? Sure, go ahead and make a Pacer. These cars are submitted by other people, by the way. I have not made these cars. If you want to watch my videos, that's where I make my cars. But here, we're just doing reviews of what people are happy about what they've made recently. I'm pretty sure it was inspired by the old Vantage. Okay, let's go have a look at the old... Vantage. This is going to come up with a new one, isn't it? Yep. 1977? Yeah, you're right. It is based off of this one a lot more. And you can see here, the body line starts really low and then comes much higher. This also has like a big thing here. That's weird. I've never noticed that before. Load. Okay, yeah, it's got it here as well. So that is actually a thing. Weird. Load anytime now. That's actually a really bad picture. This one is body color. But yeah, you get the idea. The body line starts rather low and then works its way up. This one has like a weird box thing there, which I don't really understand. Maybe they're going for more boot space, or maybe that's the fuel tank. Hope to God it's not the fuel tank. But yeah, they've kind of done the rear bumper there. My God, this car is so beautiful. Aston Martin had been hit or miss, I think, up until they kind of like did the major update to their designs with the Vanquish. And ever since then, cars just, oh, beautiful from Aston Martin. They have not had many misses at all. I don't like the DB7, if you're going to ask. Not a fan of the DB7. Looks too much like a melted Jaguar. The Champion is a GTA Online bootleg version. GTA. What are we looking for? Champion. Ah, okay. This must be new. I've never seen this before. It's weird how, like, Grand Theft Auto, like, they copy cars, but somehow miss the mark by so much. Like, I don't hate their cars. It's just, they're not close enough. Like, I know that they're not going for a complete exact one-to-one copy, because that would get them copy infringement. So they've got little details that are different here and there, but the details that they've changed just look weird. For instance here, what I'm not really liking is this rear duck lip sort of thing, and this on this car is concave in a different color. Here, it's convex and the body color. Not a fan. Also, the front? Maybe it's just a bad angle. Can we go back to the Victor? Yeah. Let's have a look at the front. The front is very understated. Whereas this thing, it's quite blaring over. I think it's also the color choice. Yeah, I think in a black it looks much better. The window on the side looks very ugly as well compared to, I think, the real car. Can we get a side-on view? Yeah. Yeah, they just don't have the body lines. But DB9, that actually looks like a modernized DB7, looks so sexy. DB9 looks much better than the DB7. So much better. I think the internet here is legally distinct. Oh, the intent here is legally distinct. I think you can't copyright certain things. And there's two things that you can't really copyright. One is art, per se. Like, you can't stop people from making replicas as long as people know that it's not the real thing. And two, what's the other one? Ah, frick. My brain is not working right now. Two is... You know what, I might actually go into GTA and buy this as soon as the stream is over, or maybe in one of the following days. Things that are functional. So things like clothing you can't do as well. So maybe they're going to rely on that if Aston Martin ever got to the point where they might want to sue. Which... They're not Ferrari, so they're not that litigious. Welcome back to the Keck Challenge, where we rate your memes and Keck or cringe. Huh? Alright. Car looks Vulcan? Car like Vulcan. You mean the Aston Martin Vulcan? Just going to make sure that I got the right car here. Yeah, you're a freaking idiot. Okay, let's go in and have a look at what we got here. We've got drum brakes on double wishbone and a big engine. Not just a big engine, a big engine. This engine barely fits in here, my goodness. It's a straight six with a single barrel carburetor. Oh my god. And then push rod, is it 2 valve cylinder? Good. With a log exhaust. Cool. That is gonna be atrocious, and I love it. Hopefully this thing puts out like 100 horsepower, maybe 110. The sort of thing you would expect from a car of this era. Then we've got leaf spring solid axle. This is the sort of axle that other car should have had. The Bugatti. Bugatti. It is absurdly expensive, $3 million without trade price. I don't know what you mean without trade price, but that's expensive for that car. Oh my god. I love lookalikes and style of Wreckfest, Fallout, Burnout, GTA, etc. But I think GTA follows the IRL counterparts way too much, and they have a hard time with making their original details. So, I don't mind that they try to copy whatever. I don't care. It's the closest I'm ever going to have of actually owning that car. My issue is the details that they change make it look worse. Like, there's some details you can do without, but there's details that they just straight up make worse. Your neighbor has an SVX. It's pretty cool. I can't remember what an SVX is, honestly. Oh, no, that's the Subaru, isn't it? Then on the back, it looks okay. It's a little bit rounded there, but sure, not that bad. Oh. Oops, accidentally let my snowman out. Then, in here, we've got a lovely open roof. And then apparently in the glove box, hey, a pistol and some cigarettes. Oh no, the cigarettes don't go all the way in. Oh, how no, atrocious. Nut fail. Absolutely abysmal. We got ourselves a column shifter. Nice. Now, next car. Using the BMW-esque sort of body. Sorry, a little bit of sneezy boy. I got a question. Do you need to make the insides to submit the car? No. It just, will probably be more likely to get you upvotes on the Reddit. Basically, that's it. That's a good name for a parody Bugatti brand. Spaghetti? Spaghetti. What is white car? We're gonna get to those cars, don't worry. S6 probably makes no power, but has massive torque, I assume? Possibly. I will have however, point out also that a lot of American cars that had low horsepower and big capacities still didn't actually generate that much torque either. Like, they generated a lot of torque, but like their torque to volume, not great. So much blue. It's one car and it's blue. You trying to say it's very vibrant? I love vibrant cars in real life. What did you miss? You missed a lot. I've googled DB9 and DB7 Zagato and wish my eyes hadn't whispered. DB7 Zagato. I don't think I know what that is. Oh, yeah, no. I'm pretty sure I've seen this once before, and I am not a fan. Didn't they do something similar with Aston Martin with like the big rounded front grille? I actually thought that one looked much better. Was there a DB9 of this? Ugh. Oh no. So the front. That does not look particularly good. I'm not a fan. But the back end. Oh my god, what is wrong with you? Is there a year on any of these? Wikipedia? No, that's Aston Martin V12 Zagato. Seems to be no thing on there. Oh god, that is ugly. That is an unfortunate car. Yikes. Oh. As I said, Aston Martin have very few misses. The Toyota at the end outvoted me, and I'm very sad. Okay. King Cobra. Not sure which car you submitted, though. Jeff Burgers, welcome as well. I'm a little late, but I can't wait to see what you have to say about your car. Okay. Don't remember which one yours is. Joe Billy Bob, welcome. We're Vixen. Welcome, if I haven't said hello to you yet. Looks like a Lagonda. Oh, the Lagonda was pretty bad, I will admit. Not real Came, welcome. Yeah, your eyes, ugh. Anyway, the vid is pixel for you. Turn the quality up or have better internet. Let's go in and have a look here. So it's a little bit flat here, but it's not the worst. You've done an okay sort of job. I'm saying that your front end is passable. A little bit flat, but passable because of the way in which automation works at the moment, which is a bit unfortunate. Oh, wait. I never checked out the brakes on the rear. So we got 6 pistons on the front. And then on the rear back here, we've got 2 pistons, smaller. This car is probably going to suck unless they've done like some amazing things for their brakes. God damn it. Why, people? Then in here, we got 6 piston as well, double wishbone, transversely mounted engine. That is unusual. Okay. Transversely mounted wide V6. Less common again. Now, the reason why that's less common is because you generally want to have, like, the engine as compact as possible for a transversely mounted engine. And one of the things you can do for that is have a 60-degree V6 and not a 90-degree V6. Not saying it doesn't happen to have a 90-degree transversely mounted V6. There has been a few, but it's less common. Usually there's, like, size constraints. So in the front here, you'd have your crash structure, then you would have your condenser, then your intercooler, then your radiator, then you'd have your radiator shroud and fans, and then you're right up against the engine already. You can see where that could be a problem. What game is this? Welcome, Hoonman. This is BeamNG, but these cars are made in automation, which is another game. So these two games work rather well together. It's pretty freaking awesome. Again, I'll go right now. Bye, what? Okay, well, soon, Mayhem Entertainment. Catch you next time? V8? No, this is a V6. We've also got a variable intake manifold. So, they've gone for kind of like a well-rounded sort of car, I'm guessing. 4-valve cylinder, twin turbo? Yeah, twin turbo. Reasonable sized turbos, unlike that other one that had like big, massive turbos on the back of that car. Or at least exhaust housings. Coming out to the rear, do we have rear drive? Oh, okay, so it's all-wheel drive. And then 4-piston. So there's a lot more weight on the front than the rear of this thing. I'm a little surprised that they went for even-ish kind of brakes like this, but okay. We've got ourselves some multi-link as well. Interesting suspension. What chassis is this? Is that a ladder? No, it's not. Okay. It's an actual proper chassis. For a second there, I thought they had a ladder chassis, which would have been Peculiar is a choice to choose. Look up the what? Monteverde High Speed. Alright, let's have a quick look at that. God damn it. Why does that image have to be so small? It's not a particularly good looking car. Does look a little bit Aston Martin-esque. But the proportions are just wrong. And not particularly great. It's like they tried to copy Aston Martin and Mustang at the same time. And the Jensen Interceptor a little bit as well. Like, they lacked a lot of their own styling, which meant that it came up with odd proportions that I'm not a particularly big fan of. Like, this glass house coming into, like, a really tight pinch, and then it's not a fastback. It goes into a normal trunk area, which just looks weird. A body line somewhere here or there would have been great. Cadillacs use that layout with 90-degree V8? Sure. Welcome, Moss! How's it going? Welcome to the stream. MV Design Custom Works. Welcome. Hello to you too. For on the glove box of the Gemini, there is a link for the owner's manual I made for it. Oh, I can't be bothered transcribing that. But, I think I saw that you had a sales thing for it. Oh, Phil, have beard now. I've pretty much had a beard since my mid-20s. Wait, no. Late 20s. Monteverde is a Swiss car brand. Ah, very ugly. Well, not very ugly, just a little bit ugly. There was a time Phil didn't have a beard. Occasionally I will shave it really short, but I won't shave it all the way off because I hate shaving all the way off because it's just too much effort. And I do, like that meme. I meant to write shaving meme. I've done it wrong. My brain is failing me. I am way too tired for this. Yeah. This one. I do very much look like that. It is not flattering when I shave. If you've not seen this meme before, now you've seen the meme. Yeah. Interesting choices on this car. Back end, a lot better style. This is the inverted. This is the inverted diffuser. Again, why do people keep using that? God damn it, I hate it. Nice choice of rear diffuser. Is this old or new automation? This is new automation. Okay, got sports tires on there. Got a full glasshouse roof, mostly lined interior. They've done so much lining of the interior, even the rear quarter pillars, but they've not done the front quarter pillars. Very weird choices. Whole ass mode. Is this meant to be electric? I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, we've got a gauge cluster here, but no real covering for the gauge cluster, so lots of reflections are going to be had there, unfortunately. No sun visors or rear view vision mirrors. So you were doing so well, but not right there. Okay. I am going to say, I don't like this vent here. Not a fan of it all. What you could have done potentially is move this all forwards a little bit, and then had it there instead of having this vent here. Maybe you got the vent there to cover up something that you're unsatisfied about the other design features of this car. I'm noticing that it's at the end of this like big long line here. But this vent, I think very rarely looks good. Here, it does not. I think I've only ever seen this vent used once and thought that looked good, and that was on a hood of a car. So, not a fan of that, unfortunately. Oh, you just wear a dark shirt? Yeah, I'm wearing a dark shirt today because it's a little bit cold. Whomst? Huh? Whomst are you talking to? Huh? Weirdo. Weird. Anyway, back to your regular scheduled programming. I never see this meme. Oh, nice. Rear door windows need a divider because they wouldn't open. Rear door windows? Huh? I don't know what you mean. Yep, I review some video and yeah, you just wear dark t-shirt. Sure. I wear this occasionally when it gets a little bit cold. Look up the Vespa 400. No, I'm good. Not right now. I want to get through these. How old am I? I am 13. I'm old enough to be on YouTube. Then we got this car. So, I will admit, the front looks a little bit low. And the bumper choice to wrap around like this, not quite right. What you can do here is actually get a different bit of bumper as well, stick it on the edge here, and then have it wrap around a little bit. If you know that one trick that I do as well, which you place the thing in 2 dimensions, do your body alignment, all that sort of stuff, like, horizontal alignment. Then switch it to 3D, move that little bit of bumper around to the edge here, angle it like a 45 degree that way, and then hit 2 dimensions. You may need to finagle things to get it to actually apply. Then you can get the bumper to wrap all the way around and look like it has a proper edge like that. That's just a little bit of a trick, but I do like the look of this car. This is probably my favorite one, more for the rear than the front, I will admit though. Nice choices of things. There would usually, but not always, be an extra little bit of vent down here as well, so that's something to keep in mind. Also, a lot of these older cars I've noticed recently didn't come down as far as the rest of the car. For some reason, the fronts were just a little bit higher than the rest. So let's go back to that AMC Gremlin. Bad example. Anyway, let's go back. I was wrong, apparently. Let's go in. We got punch steel wheels on, drum brakes. Okay. And then, what the hell? A solid axle front drive transverse setup? That is very peculiar. I didn't even know you could do that. I know when you try to put an engine in the rear, it won't let you have a solid axle. You do have to have independent suspension. Or maybe there's something of a trick to it. But yeah, I just assumed on the front you wouldn't be able to do that then. That's weird. I didn't know that was possible. You guessing I'm 30? Ah. Anyway, we've got here an inline force. Why? Why have you done this to me? It has tubular exhaust. Okay. Then we've got push rod. Such a juxtaposition. Why? Then we've also got a single fuel thing here. Alright, sure. We don't have rear drive. We're on a ladder chassis. Everything is so cheap, but yet for some reason they also then went with really expensive exhaust manifold. Just doesn't make sense. Then we've got a den axle leaf spring in the rear. Very peculiar choices. I don't think I've ever seen an automation spring be inverse like this before. Usually they just make it work the normal way around. You must have done artificial lowering to the suspension, maybe? Weird. I mean, it is quite low, but then we come to the rear. I love the rear design of this car. I think it looks really, really, really good. I hope we get the ability to use semi-trailing arms with rear engine layout someday. I don't know if that's ever been a thing, but I don't see why it couldn't be. Seems like it would be very prone to oversteer, though. And that was weird. What? I hear the pain in your voice. Told you it was slapped together. Kragen wagon? What? Old Porsches? What? What's going on in chat right now? I don't understand. I hope we get front and rear trailing arms someday. Sure. I'd also love like more torsion beam options, since that is Not that uncommon. My Boxer 4 engine once went 307 kilometers an hour, and that was weird. Okay. They used this layout when they replaced swing axles on the Volkswagen Beetle. Oh, interesting. Alright, I didn't know that they moved away from swing axles. I don't really know much about the Volkswagen Beetle. It's never really been a car that I fancied a lot. Hey, I see what you've done here. I love this matching of things here. Unfortunately, you could have filled that in maybe with something. But, yeah. I like how the trim line matches up with the fuel fill-up. That's pretty cool. You know what this reminds me now that we've been looking at a lot? The Aston Martin V8 Vantage. Okay. In automation, there's literally a dash filling fixture that you can use. It's not particularly hard to use, and you can pick one of them, fit it in here, and then have the dash come out to about here and the steering wheel to about here. You'd have to move your seats back, but that's fine. Oh my god, you're not fitting your legs in there. So this is an amputee's car, apparently. Then the back, also amputees. You'd also have the rear seats further back if you... No. Alright, I think this body just needs to be a two-seater. I really don't think you're fitting real seats back there. Unless you call this a 2+2, which is really 2 plus 2 fake seats in the back. That's kind of the way of thinking about it. Oh, ambulance. That's what a Kragenwagen is? Okay. Does it make sense that in 63 American cars have electric windows? I didn't know they had electric windows, but that would make sense since they were at the height of opulence at the time. I know around the similar sort of time, I believe it was Mercedes was using hydraulics, which was a weird way to do it, but sure. Very prone to issues. But then again, also in the 1960s, a lot of cables would have been with cloth wrapping and not plastic like we use now, or rubber or whatever. So electrics were also pretty prone to being quite jank back then as well. What is this zesty audio? That one was far apart. It's just on the YouTube's audio library. I just got it set up. Just hit play. What if Audi still make the Quattro? Could care less. Audi never really pushed themselves hard in Australia. When they did, it was only with bland cars. So Audi have only really ever been a bland car company here in Australia, unfortunately. So they don't do anything for me whatsoever. This is my first interior lol. Oh dear. There's a lot to unpack here. One other thing is this shoulder line feels a little too high. I feel what you've done here is you've just got a particularly high floor line. Yeah. So I know that you wanted to hide the... not have the chassis interfere. Just set it to do a simple chassis and just hide it. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. And then just create the floor line that you want where it needs to be. Then we got this... What did somebody call it? A Toyota Cressida or something? I can't remember. Welcome, Swagbucks. How's it going? That hydraulically operated windows? Yeah, that's crazy. Lancia made the first automatic windows in the early 50s. They used pneumatic system. Oh, okay. Pneumatic makes a lot more sense since it would be a lot easier and a lot cheaper to manufacture. Though, being air, it's probably going to be considerably less reliable. Especially since plastics and rubbers back then were of a lot lower quality than what we have now. So it makes sense it was an Italian car company that made it, but then also probably made one that was really garbage. But they weren't the only ones that were garbage. What was it, Ford had pop-up headlights, but it wasn't so much the headlights pop up, but like the covers popped up. And because it was pneumatic and rubber was terrible back in the day, they would just slowly go down on their own. So you'd either have to turn the lights off before you turn the car off, otherwise they would just droopily go down unevenly, or just have the car running all the time. Those were your two options to have your headlights not look weird when you were done driving it. Good tip for making interiors, use references. Sure. This car seems to have weirdly high detailing in some areas and requires a lot more detail in others. I do agree. A lot of this looks fairly good on the side, like it looks fairly accurate to a normal sort of car. Headlights are doing okay. Grill is starting to lose it. And then this does not look great. I don't know what it should be, but not that. At least they got the right sort of wheels. I don't like any of Automation's wheels. I think they all look terrible, but at least it's okay. We've got 2-piston vented disc brakes on McPherson's strut suspension. Then we've got no valve cover. I'm guessing your reliability is quite low on this vehicle. 4 valves per cylinder, cast manifold, turbo, the very small turbine housing. So this is meant to be for low power applications, okay. A lot of these earlier turbo cars from the 90s and especially earlier, you're not meant to have low turbo lag. Turbos are meant to kick on at about 4,000 RPM and upwards. They weren't good. And there was a reason why there was a lot of twin turbo ones. Because if you're making turbos bigger, with journal bearings and the low quality turbos that they used to use, they would become very lossy and not very good and very crap. So they would go to twin turbos instead of like a larger single turbo. That is a very peculiar turbo setup. The roof looks too low. The proportions are weird. No. What is it? The Toyota Cressida? Is that what I'm thinking of? No. Toyota Crown? The Koenigsegg free valve? It's not really the sort of thing that... that's not what free valve is. Let's go to 1990. No. Let's go back to the Cressida. And put in 1990. 1990... Let's go to 1997. Nope, apparently there was no 1997. 1995? I don't know what the car is that I'm thinking of. Toyota Chaser! There we go. So as you can see, the roofline is actually rather low on these cars. This is a modified version. It's probably really unlikely you'll ever find an unmodified version anymore. Yeah, no, the front grille is very different. Oh, sorry, the front lower ventilation area is very different compared to the one that they chose. This just looks really bad in my opinion. That, you know what it looks like? A 90s gore cartoon sort of thing. You know, like that 90s style of cartoon, which are like, just trying to be as gross as possible, and that was their thing. This looks like really ugly teeth on a cartoon. Welcome, Fuchsia Azul. How's it going? Anyway, let's go in and see what we've got on this absolute behemoth of a car. I've already looked at it, haven't I? We were looking at the engine, that's right. Single throttle body, single manifold. I believe that's meant to be a low end thing, so they're trying to bring that turbo power band down. Sure, whatever. Do we have all-wheel drive? No, we don't. We have drive coming out to the rear. Into double wishbone, single piston, solid disc. About right for a standard road car of the 90s. And it's probably going to understeer quite badly as well. Rear end. That just doesn't look good. At all. What do we got? Oops. We've got modified ones, but no standard ones. Is that a standard one? Yeah, this comes up much higher. You've also got an accent dent line along here, like indentation line. There's also an indentation line that's meant to be along here as well, as you can see. What you probably would have done instead is used a lip here, and then put the wing on top, if you were going to do the wing style. Unless you're trying to copy that. No, that's a modified one. Yeah. So it's got a big, massive indentation line. Here, it's just flat and bland. Unfortunately, I feel unfinished. What do we got for the rest there? Taillights, close enough. I think the taillights wrap around a little bit. So what you could have done is create a second one of those. Switch it to 3D. Bring it across a little bit. Rotate it in at kind of like a 45-ish degree angle. Then hit 2D again. And it'll give you a nicer sort of wraparound style. Why did the same version of this stream get deleted? I don't know about it being deleted, but it's probably being processed at the moment. I'll agree that the rear end is disgusting. I wouldn't say disgusting, just very underfinished. Undercooked, underbaked, that sort of thing. I hate when people use those 70s or 80s rear lights on 90s cars. It's simple. Yeah. I mean, it would be great if they made completely custom lights, but also I don't care that much. There is chaser taillights in the base game. Oh, okay. I don't like really many of the automation-based taillights at all. Most of them are just hideous, in my opinion. You're gonna go make a car? Cool. Alright. We're now done looking at the cars. This is only half of it because, as we've been talking about, my power went out. So, first car. Big, boatish sort of car. Let's have a look. The Super V. Top this week. Good. Right page. If you want to do a submission... Sorry, I'm yawning. What I would suggest is clicking this image. Create a media post. Put the picture in here, and then down in the comments, put your description. It's a much better way of doing it. I think I'm going to have to skip the full fill scores for most of the cars today because I'm way too tired. Oh, there is no information on this car really anyway. 2-speed automatic. Oh dear. 211 horsepower. That's actually quite a lot of horsepower to put through a 2-speed. Oh dear. 3,800 pounds? Nearly 2 tons? My goodness. Only description. Okay. They haven't really talked about where they would like it to be tested, so I'm thinking we'll take it to Old Automation Test Track. So we'll just take it to the main part first, then we'll move it. If IKEA makes cars, build your own car. Huh? There are actually kit cars you could buy if that's what you wanted to do. Next day coming my car? Huh? I'm confused. What are we talking about? Welcome E-Dragon to the stream. How's it going, bro? It's 10 a.m. It is 12:18 for me. Nissan 100NX is Mazda 3... Really? I didn't know that. I like kinda the Nissan 100NX. What just happened? Did I press the wrong button? I think I pressed the wrong button. Whoops. I don't want to turn the camera speed up. Okay. F7. Okay, yeah, I think I must have pressed the wrong button. Baker's Super V. What engine do we have again? I've forgotten. I do like the rear end of this car. Good use of fixtures, I believe. That's right. God damn it. The small engine in here. That is a lot of power to get from something that looks so small. I think it's because the engine bay is so big that it makes the engine seem dwarfed in comparison. Also, maybe use the advanced fixtures section to, get the, engine to be the right size and in the right place if you want it to look more accurate. I realize I have the audio turned down. There we go. Search the Nissan 100NX. I know what it is. Search Google Colt Akami. I'm going to preemptively notify you that the chaser oversteers add an even mentioning of a corner. Okay. small B8. There were actually boxer 8s in, or flat 8s in Formula 1. And then they had to double their engine sizes, and one of the major engine manufacturers pulled out, so they had to create H8s. Oh dear. That wasn't meant to happen. Please? I think I've Googled enough things for now. Did I see the Nissan Peo in person? I don't know what a Nissan Peo is. My goodness, this car sucks. Oh dear. This is very slow. That's right, it's a 2-seat. Oh my god, I'm yawning again. Frick me. I'd say that I'd like these white lines to maybe run down the length of the car, so angle them in a way which they can run the entire length of the car. So then it has like an accent line maybe? I don't know. I think just having it end where the tail fins really just does nothing more really than to accentuate the fact that it's a fixture and not actually a part of the car. Maybe make it chrome next time, since in this time period, chrome is just the way to go. Yeah, this thing washes out hard under braking as well. So like a mid-corner I brake and the thing washes out, which is how a lot of these cars used to be. Because you didn't want to have oversteery cars in the hands of the public. For instance, Ferrari and a lot of the other manufacturers as well that were doing mid-engine race cars were like, we're not going to do a mid-engine road car because they are dangerous and really hard to drive, and they thought that nobody would want something so dangerous. That's where Lamborghini came along, and they eventually ended up... Why is this song playing? And they did their thing. This actually feels rather nice. It feels like you're cruising all the time. Oh my god, this thing understeers so hard. Oh dear. Trying to compensate for the oversteer that these tires would have created back in the day. This thing feels about right. Now that I've taken the bumper off, for some reason, it now looks like this car is driving backwards and I'm looking at the front of the car. Weird. Is it just me? Because now, yeah, that's what it looks like now. No, the Nissan Peo is cute? Weird. Never heard of it. Nissan Peo is ugly. Impractical, cheap, and bad-made retro-stylized car that was made for a high price and based on the Micra K10. Okay. Have you been inside a Peo? I've never heard of a Peo before. That I'm actually interested in having a look at. Nissan Peo. Oh, yeah. This was during that time period of, like, trying different things out. This is brought out at the same time as the, Nissan Figaro. I love the Nissan Figaro, and so does my partner as well. I think there was a few different issues. One of which the body lines were weird. Like, the back end was weird, and this forward slanting, or backward slanting front end, I don't know which way you want to describe it. But yeah, that looks really, really wrong. And I don't think these fenders really suit the design of the rest of it quite right. I think if they were to mostly just fix the front slant, I would actually probably think that this car was okay. But as it stands, no, it is actually a little bit ugly. I think the body's just a little bit long as well. Maybe if they had to move, like, the front windshield area back a bit, maybe? Or maybe bring the rear up to make it a shorter body? I don't know. It feels just like the body is a little bit long. Yeah. Anyway. Alright. One last car. If the Nissan NX is not interesting, I'm going to block you forever. Like, I'm pretty sure I know what the Nissan 100 NX is. Yeah, I like this car. The fuck is wrong with me? I told you I knew what the car was, for fuck's sake. God damn it. Car gets a 7 out of 10. Good, but unfinished, no interior. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Google search 20... No, I'm done searching for cars. I'm wondering why this is scraping on the front. You can see sparks coming out of the front when I'm turning hard. That is weird. Yeah, okay. Sometimes automation does this, where it doesn't export correctly. What you should be doing then, if you can't get it to work the way that you want it to work, is go in and just move the nodes up. Here there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you want to go all the way, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 nodes, that's it, move them up. It would take you in all of 10 minutes. I have 2 videos on how to do it. Here's the main one. If we go to YouTube Creator Studio now. What are we looking for? Nodes. Yes, this one. Why you should modify your nodes. Have a look at that one. Very simple instructions, hopefully. I don't know, it's been a while since I looked at it. That'll help you deal with things like that. You can do that. For me, it would take a matter of a couple of minutes. But if it's new to you, it would probably take you about like 5 to 10 minutes. If you're really, really new, it might take you half an hour. But yeah, just moving 15 nodes, really super simple. I like the sound of the engine. It's a little bit quiet though, like it's very at idle. And very fart cannon-y sort of sound. The stream sucks? Okay. Has this got a CVT in it? Because we're not changing our RPMs, but we are gaining speed. Really slowly, might I add, as well. If it's a CVT, aren't they meant to be, like, more speed efficient? Then that explains some of the problems I've been having. Gonna be honest? Honest about what? It does have a CVT? I thought so. How do I get over to the dirt section? I feel like this is probably going to be much more of a, like, multi-terrain sort of vehicle. The sort of thing that you would take off-road. For a second there, I thought it might have just been like a really sloppy automatic. But yeah, it makes sense that this thing has a CVT. With the fact that it reaches its RPM target and just sits there. It is really slow. How much horsepower does this thing not have? I have to leave the stream and I just left a dislike? Okay. Search Toyota Mark II. I think I'm done searching for things. I am really tired and a little bit grumpy. As you may have noticed. I've told people off for like bugging me to search things. And you just keep bugging me to do it. I'm way too tired for this. No, he can go ahead and dislike it. That's fine. I do feel that I am subpar today. I am rather short-fused. Especially with, like, the internet... sorry, not the internet. The power outage I had in the middle there, that deflated me a lot. Having to, like, go also do network troubleshooting because it somehow managed to stuff up both my modem and my, internet router thing. It's not a router... I have what's called hybrid fiber, which is hybrid fiber coaxial cable, which has to go through a box before it gets to the modem. And then when it gets to the modem, then it is the router which sends it out to my computer. And yeah, it was just a pain in the butt afterwards. Otherwise, the stream probably would have been back a couple of minutes earlier, which is not much, I know, but it was just another hassle. There was a power outage? Yeah, I've had a few power outages today. Love SA Power Networks. Fantastic. What they do is they take your money. Anyway. Hey, Game Boy, the Toyota will... is the PT Cruiser of Japan. Oh, dear. Keep going? Oh, yeah, I'm going to push through this tiredness that I'm feeling right now. Even a fiber is a hybrid? But yeah, I like my internet. It's pretty fast. It's just got one more point of failure. But at least it's also missing a point of failure, which is copper cabling running out to my house, which usually floods and then shorts out, which is what a lot of places get. I'm enjoying this kind of car. It's a little too gutless to be putting into rallies, in my opinion. But I suppose it's so slow, you're not actually going to be having accidents or anything. So, it works. But my god, this thing is so gutless. Goodness gracious. This feels even more gutless than that, what was it, a Citron? A Citron? The one that James May had to crank start for that rally. Because this feels very much of that sort of, thing that you're going for, like a rally car sort of thing, except I think they were only bitumen. I like it. Gutless as hell. I don't feel energetic enough to give a full fill score to every car. I think we're just going to go with a simplified fill score. Especially considering that this thing would probably get the worst fill score of all time. You know, probably one of the worst fill scores of all time. Maybe not the worst fill score of all time. I'm going to go with, like, an 8.5 out of 10. There's a lot to like here. The design is pretty good. There's a lot of details here that I like. I like the fact that you got white walls. Is this new automation? Yeah, I like the fact that you found white walls before I did. I don't know how you did that. But, I've been waiting for white walls and they just weren't coming. That's a Citron Amy? Okay. The 2CV took part in rally. I feel that the 2CV was probably more powerful than this thing. This thing is gutless as hell. Did you notice it was like struggling to go over 70 kilometers an hour in a straight line? Ugh. The Fiat 126P participated in Group 2 rallies with 26 horsepower stock. That is excruciating. My goodness. So, let me just show you how much speed you have to be carrying into a corner so then you don't scrub speed off. I'm already scrubbing speed off, unfortunately. Is this the direction? Yes, this is correct direction. Okay. Bring it to the corner. There's no speed to scrub off. I don't even need to brake. It's that slow. Goodness gracious. Oh my god. I don't need to brake for corners. The fact of going around corners is enough to scrub off the speed that I would have potentially braked for, but probably not, because it just loses so much speed. Oh dear. Oh shit, 8.5? Also, you missed it. It has 20 horsepower. Ah, okay, so this is an even less powerful version then. Okay, fair enough. The 126, it's a 2-cylinder? Oh, that'd be fun. 20 is a good number? 20 is a round number. Okay. I like the car. Unfortunately, it is too gutless to enjoy to its fullest potential. A lot of cool stuff here. I like the fact that you've gone for like a folding seat and everything like that. I like the fact that you use custom sounds, pretty good. The rust and everything. That's right, we're going to have a look at the rust on this, weren't we? Let's see if the rust actually is there. Ah, it is there. Okay. It's just from underneath. No, that was not there. That was not there before. Okay. BeamNG is doing weird things. Roll over, you fat tard. Oh, god damn it. I meant to say fat turd. I don't know if I said that right. Okay, there we go. So, lovely rusted chassis. 8.7 out of 10. Something I've never seen before. You know what? 8.8. I do like the fact that you've done a lot of really cool rusting here. Fantastic work. 2-cylinder inline 8? What? I've been in new Peugeot 3008. Don't know what that is. Yeah, there were quite a few 2-cylinders back in the day. Yeah, there was. The really main one that I remember would have been, I believe, Was the 2CV? But the Fiat 500, I believe, was the first one I'd ever heard of. You'd enjoy a V4? V4s were rarer than 2 cylinders. I personally would like to see a flat 8. Sorry, straight 8. And maybe a flat 8 as well, actually. Why not? I know I'm talking mostly in terms of what were Formula cars, like Formula 1 for the most part, but even still. Semi-trailing arm rear-mounted Boxer 2. I'd love to recreate the BMW 700 in automation. That sounds cool. And also 2-stroke production cars, but yeah. 2-stroke is problematic to create. Before then, I would love to see diesel and electric and hybrids. Electrics have been around since the dawn of cars. So I think it's a little bit weird that they've been excluded from automation, along with diesels. I think the diesels, though not used really anymore for the majority of vehicles, only really in like America, Volkswagen stopped using it, so there's not many cars that come with it. You're talking more industrial sort of vehicles still. Yeah. Diesels have been a really big part of automotive history. So it feels a bit weird that diesel is not a part of automation. I think it's about time that they slow down on doing... Like, they're doing a lot of good work. I completely agree. All the fixture stuff, getting really cool. There's only one more thing that I would like to see implemented on that. But that's a whole video that I want to create one day. But aside from that, I think they should step back from a lot of it, even the campaign stuff that is half-baked still, and work on different engine stuff. So, for instance, diesels, hybrids, and electrics. Hybrids have been a pretty big thing now for 20 years now, like gaining popularity as time goes on, and now hybrids aren't just an economy thing, but they're also like a supercar and a hypercar and race car sort of thing. I would like to see that as an option. Diesels in Europe are still quite a thing. Yeah, but they're not being made anymore. I'm pretty sure Volkswagen dropped it like a year or two ago. I'm pretty sure for emissions reasons. You'd love to see an i8? I think an i8 would be cool. Just imagine Detroit diesel in automation. Imagine Detroit diesel in automation. Sure. I don't know why you said Detroit diesel and not just diesel, but okay. Hydrogen combustion engines are good. No, they're not. Golf diesel is probably the most popular car in Europe. Yeah, but I don't think they make diesels anymore because of European regulations. Welcome, Yeri Castro. How's it going? I mean, most of my life, I've driven or been in a diesel. Okay. Diesels are very rare here in Australia. But that's not what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is they're not made really anymore. Diesels are getting really popular in Asia. Even an eco car is diesel these days. Oh dear, that's not good. Was surprised with how loud electric cars, race cars were. They're kind of designed to be loud, so then there's actually something to hear. Like, that is not a mistake that is that loud. 2-stroke Detroit diesel, I mean. Oh, the 2-stroke diesel? That would be interesting. But yeah, 2-strokes in road cars are very rare. Didn't really play a major story in the automotive industry, like in motorbikes and whatnot. Sure. But in road cars, they were more of like a blip on the radar sort of thing. A thing that they tried and realized wasn't really up to snuff for road cars. Too much stress put on them and whatnot. Too low a torque, which is a problem for road cars. You need torque to move a like 500 to 5,000 kilogram car. By good, I mean they're interesting and fun, not actually viable. What are we talking about? You got to say hi before? Okay. Skoda in Europe is still offering diesel engines. Ah, okay. Isn't Skoda also a part of the Volkswagen Audi group? Look at the Peugeot 3000. I'm not doing it again. I'm not looking up another car. I'm done looking up cars for now. Didn't Australia have LPG and it didn't work? No, LPG has been around for a really long time. And it is actually quite an affordable way of doing it. And you don't lose that much power if done right. Well, propane cars popular in Australia at one point. I think recently they've become less popular because we had a shitty government in for the last 10 years and they kind of killed a lot of the stuff off for it because they didn't want it. But yeah, LPG, liquid petroleum gas. It's not exactly propane or propane accessories. But you could basically run propane if you wanted to. Skoda is cheap VW? Thought so. LPG is a pain. Took a while to strip it from your car. Oh. And you can strip it if you want. But if you have a dual system, it's not the worst thing. Whatever. I've had a few LPG cars. I had the Ford Falcon that came with it from 2003. The only thing I didn't like about it is the fact that it was an automatic, which was just soul-crushing. Hated that car, every minute of it, except for the fact it was so incredibly cheap to run. Oh my god, it was cheap to run. For a big car, so cheap. With, like, not an insignificant amount of power either. And every big manufacturer offers diesels in Europe. Pretty sure they don't anymore, or maybe they've announced they're stopping it because of the strict European emissions. But I'm pretty sure Volkswagen stopped a while ago, didn't they? Like a year or two? Hey, the rust don't really seem shiny anymore now either. It's because of the angle I'm looking at. If we go at a different angle, you can see reflections now. Yeah, so you can see the tree and the reflection there, unfortunately. Same as in here. Yeah, see, it's still really shiny, which is unfortunate. I don't know why it's come out shiny and the other one with rust didn't shine. I don't know. Setting thing. Arbitrary random automation exporter glitch thing. Sure. I think the Skoda Superb is offering a 2-liter turbo diesel i4 with 200 to 250 horsepower, something like that. Okay, interesting. It was unreliable and stopped everything from working. What are we talking about, Canola Skies? Oh, the LPG. LPG does need to be maintained. I will give you that, but the running cost is so cheap. But only if the car is tuned for it. If it's a standard car that you just chuck LPG onto it, you lose like, what, 20 to 30% of its power straight off the bat? But if it's a car like the Ford Falcon that came with it, I will admit that they are tuned for LPG, which gives them an actual pretty good advantage. Start make P1, like the McLaren P1? Okay. They do, but they will have to stop because the EU laws and stuff. But diesels are still sold. Okay. I thought that they'd stopped it already. I must have misheard. I cannot see the mic. This mic? Huh? Weirdo. Alright. I was wrong. Alright. Next. Sorry, hiccups and burps. Car. The Egregor Blue Jay. This is a fairly fancy one by... I think this one's at the top of the list. No, almost at the top of the list. This is a repost by Firebird, except this time it is a front engine and a much smaller engine. So, a little bit better this time. Cheers, everybody. Hello, Phil. Welcome. Ome, how's it going? Alright, Firebird, testing your car. Okay, done. I give it a... No, I'm joking. I'm actually going to properly test it out. Is this all-wheel drive? I didn't actually look. I don't think I see front drive in there. But I could be wrong. Is the engine showing up this time? Nope, the engine is still invisible for some reason. I don't get it. I don't know why that's the thing. What's the collision mesh like on this? Ah, I see you've probably done some work to get the collision mesh to work well, huh? Let's go ahead and turn off the ESC. Where's my mouse? There we go. My friend has a Mark V Toyota Celica, and he decided it was a good idea to slap LPG onto it. Why put it onto a sports car? Oh my god. Oh, hey, look at that. We got moving steering wheel as well. And moving gauges. I can see it from back here. Nice. No, nobody stopped the selling diesel, to be honest. They have AdBlue injections, tons of filters, etc. But they are not going anywhere in the near future. I believe they are. The problem is not so much the emissions, but it's the type of emissions they release. The Soodia Black is... I think they did a study and found that it was 250 times worse a greenhouse gas as normal petrol. Which, when they did that, they were like, this isn't right. And then they got people to peer review it and actually do studies as well. And they're like, wow, okay. How have we not noticed this before, sort of thing. So there's been a big shift to wanting to switch delivery vehicles, at least the end delivery vehicles, to not be diesel as well and to switch over to electric. This thing is good. Nah! It doesn't have endless grip though, unfortunately, as proven right there by my lack of skill. It's rear-wheel drive. It's not a race car, it's a roadster. It feels like a race car. Yeah, I'll have to tune that down a bit, Ed. Oh yeah, it is quite loud. Yes, I agree. And since I always drive from cockpit, I never saw the rear jiggle. There's rear jiggle? Oh, there is a bit of a rear jiggle, yeah. Need to improve node further? I don't see you using my Rigida mod. You could just chuck that in there. That'd probably make it a lot easier. How much is this weigh? I missed the weight. 537 kilograms. That is exceedingly light. It almost seems unlikely to actually be that light in real life. But I suppose if you've got like all plastic panels maybe and a lightweight tubular chassis made out of aluminium or something, that would be cool. God damn it. This is really good though. It's a bit twitchy, so it's really good at like a low speed sort of stuff. It's a little bit too violent to be a normal sort of roadster. Here's the thing. What I'm going to say about this car. It's probably, oh god damn it, going to have the same issue as the T-Rex did, which is a car which I think is fantastic. T-Rex. Trike. There we go. So, the issue with the T-Rex is it was not cheap enough, but it was not of a modern generation sort of vehicle. It's the sort of thing that was more targeted towards older, like 50 and 60-year-old sort of people. Because of also, like, not being cheap and it just not being... Like, the demographics were all wrong with this car. They were going for a very small demographic, which was the 20 to 30-year-olds that had lots of disposable income. A lot of disposable income when this thing first released. But also didn't want a good-looking car or a... like anything particularly practical. Which is an almost non-existent target demographic. So, they have struggled their entire existence, unfortunately, because I think their vehicles are fantastic. Don't launch it on the dirt. Yeah, it's tricky. Tricky to get right. What did you expect you searched T-Rex for? My brain failed me. I'm really tired right now. I'm about 6 hours past my sleep schedule. But I wanted to hold my stream at the same time that I normally do, so that everyone's here at the right time. I'm so goddamn tired. You expect apple pies? Nice. What country you never knew it has a car industry? There's a lot of countries that I didn't realize had car industries. But I would say a lot of poorer countries, so like a lot of African countries, I'd assume, wouldn't really have car things. Some South American countries probably don't have much in the way of a car industry. I'm pretty sure most of them have created cars at some point, though. Australia doesn't really have a car industry. We have manufacturing, I suppose, now of, I think, Honda and something else, but like, we don't make any cars here. We just assemble them for tax purposes. Sometimes this thing just understeers. It's weird. I don't know what you've done. Have you messed with the friction levels of the tires? Because I think that's what's kind of tripping me up here. I'm gonna set off now, get some sleep. I just want to say I apologize in advance for how my car drives. Nat64, we'll have a look when we get around to it. There have been some JBM work to make it drive worse than it normally would. Oh dear, okay. Thomas, nice haircut. Thanks. I prefer longer hair. My hairdresser just cut it too short. Why do I keep making the mistake of going back to hairdressers? I'm never satisfied with what they do. I always should cut my own hair like I normally do. What engine is in this car? A 1.7 liter V6 turbo. So, wait, no, not turbo. Okay, this is a 1.7 liter V6. This thing has a lot of power for an aspirated 1.7 liter. You know what? No, the car is really light as well, so it probably doesn't have a ginormous amount of power. But I feel as if it has an unnaturally large amount of power for a road car. I'm assuming this is also like a low production run made by a company like T-Rex. Really need to refine all the sound. Yeah, it's a bit loud. Small engine, I cut my own hair. Yeah, it's free. I mean, I think I do usually a fairly good job of cutting my own hair. But what I've been unhappy with is the short back and sides of my hair. It's been a bit cruddy recently. So I thought, you know what, I'll just get the whole haircut this time. It came out too short. There's 156 horsepower. Okay, that's not unrealistic. It just feels so brutal. But I think most of that is the fact that this thing is so light. Yeah, did you modify the tire friction values or anything like that? Sounds a lot of power for such a tiny engine? Not really. There's moderate cars that are similar size and create almost the same amount of power. This thing also revs to 9,000 RPM, which is pretty like S2000 sort of numbers. Like the S2000 creates a lot more power. Even if it is a 2 liter, it creates a lot more power. Should have added a 1.6 liter V6. It should have been then a modified F1 engine. Nice. You say that this is a bored out or a stroked out version of that, maybe? Yes, look at the Reddit. Okay, I was wondering why the tires feel weird. You've not done a particularly fantastic job of matching all of the tire values. Because it feels weird sometimes. You get into like low weight push down on the tires, and suddenly the thing starts to skate around a bit. This is a car. A Gregor cannot be held responsible if you dry your cat in a microwave. Haven't I? What? I'm so confused. Good notes. 99.999% 3D placement. Oh, interesting. JBM, steering wheel, gauges, engine sounds, some node work against the jiggles, a lot of suspension and brake fine tuning, changing tire compound, 90% grip coefficient, 110 slip grinding, making the right indicator functional in the dash gauge. The right indicator, but not the left indicator? That one works, and that one works. Both work. I don't see what the problem is. Minus 10% grip and plus 10% slider grip. Oh, okay. Weird. Yeah, working gauges and everything. It seems that you don't have a working fuel gauge. And I don't think you have a working temperature gauge either. But not that automation does thermals at the moment when it exports to BMG, which is rather annoying. I feel this car is much better than last week's though. I left one works as standard because it is left on the left side. What? The left one worked as... Okay. Confusing way of writing that, but okay. I think he meant it as the correct indicator. No. For me, it is... The car industry I never knew about was Egypt and Taiwan. I didn't know about Egypt, but it would make sense. And Taiwan. Wait, which one is Taiwan? Let's go here. They have their own car industry? But they're so small. And isn't this the country where they have, like, housing problems because they don't zone enough housing and people are, like, living in $5,000 a week rental places, which is basically one bunk bed. Something like that. Something ridiculous. The interior is nice, though. I think the seats should be a lot more buckety, like bolstered on the sides. But the right side would operate as the left... I see what you mean. Also, last week's car had gone through intensive retune. It kicks absolute ass now, as confirmed by Ekai. Oh, okay. He was a great help in tutoring and test driving. He was tutoring you? Okay. Interesting. Oh, this thing... Oh, I was about to say tops out at its top speed, which is quite rare. I feel this thing wouldn't have this high of a top speed. Like, sure, 100... Oh, God, that is a lot of jiggle. Oh, God. That's... Ooh. This vehicle would generate so much drag. It would probably top out at about 190, maybe 200, maybe 210, but that'd be about max. Other than that, this vehicle, yeah, would create way too much drag. What you should have done, maybe, is gone into aerodynamic settings. Make sure that you've got it set to default no under tray to get that extra drag, and then maybe drop the quality of your aerodynamics. Because, yeah, this thing would suck for drag. Yeah, those houses are called coffin homes? What are we talking about? What? Where'd that come from? Oh, you mean the ones in Taiwan. Sorry. My first complete handmade seats. Okay. Still could have done with more bolstering. The Chevrolet Lanos and Optera are still being produced there. Okay. Oh, here. Don't know where here is. Okay. Welcome, Sawdust. How's it going? So after I apply physical speed limits on cars in BeamerG, I found at least gradual. Drag. Drag is one way of doing it. The other one is... Let's go in and have a look. This is still a thing. You just have to activate it, I believe, or maybe it's still a thing. You have to do some math. Google it. Top speed limit. What you would do is remove these two things, which would activate this. And then this is in meters per second. Just figure out what you want that to be. And that's what you would then have that as. So I'm going to not save that. But yeah, that's how you also put a limit in. It is gradual enough. The drop-off of speed when you're going towards the aerodynamic limitations of the vehicle with the given amount of horsepower is actually quite abrupt. I have experienced it myself as well. Welcome, Chris Games. How's it going? I set the entire car up to do 270. This car, with only 170 horsepower, I think you said, would not reach 270 kilometers an hour. That is way too much drag. This thing probably has a drag coefficient of 1, maybe 0.6 on a good day. But yeah, no. This vehicle is so draggy. All of a sudden, after some tuning, it goes almost 300. That is not happening here. Yes, the audio is slightly modded too. Cool. 210 kilometers seems like a good speed for this thing? No. I don't think you realize how bad this vehicle is for drag. So you remember that whole thing I was talking about, like air curtains and stopping the wake of the vehicle? This is considerably bad. So not only is it like creating a bit of a wake here, but then there's like a secondary wake created by this, which is going to be very turbulent. Then it's going to suck back in around the side here, which is going to create just extra shit air. Then it's coming down to the back, and then it's going to push back out again. Then it's going to come back in again. You've got a rear diffuser. Then you've got these bits all around here, which are all quite sharp edges. Like bigger radiuses, less drag sort of thing. Those are not great radiuses. Lots of air capture points as well, even around the lights. Being a convertible. Very drag-inducing. Then these roll bars. Drag-inducing. The rear spoiler here. Drag-inducing. Back end is not really set up for aerodynamics at all. This thing is just an aerodynamicist's nightmare. Looks great for the most part. I do think still though that should be a little bit more slanted on the hood. Like maybe an extra 10 degrees at least. But yeah. I do like it. I think there's a few issues, one of which, the top speed, way too high. Okay, we'll reduce the top speed, but only to 270. You mean 170. Because I am not reworking the dash gauges and re-export after all of the pain this has caused me. But it's definitely noted for the future. I want to make it look great. I am not so good at technical knowledge. Alright. Finally made it here on time. Welcome, Bastion Lover. How's it going? What a name. Okay. But yeah, I also like the tall nature look of it. Not great for aero, once again. Or stability, I mean, at high speeds is what I should say. I do like it a lot. There is a lot to like here. Also, yeah, those seats should be a lot more bolstered. But I do think that they're pretty cool, I will admit. I also like the glass on the side here. I haven't mentioned that at all so far. But yeah, I think that is actually a really cool feature. I really like how the door is three-dimensional. Comes back in, down. You've got a bit of a sill for the glass. And then, oh god. Stupid camera system. Then you've just got glass here. That's pretty cool. You can also change glass to be double-sided. So then it's the same on both sides. And notice also you don't have glass on here as well. That is just an issue. If we go to materials, if you're able to figure out which materials the glass is, you can go to, which will usually have like translucent will be set to true. So let's see if we can find translucent true here. Is that the right word? Okay. Yeah, true. So this one would be a glass or something like a glass. And this probably is the glass for this vehicle. Where's double-sided? It's in here somewhere. It's very easy to find. Alpha test, translucent, car shadows, dynamic, active layers. What the hell? Ah. What the hell? Okay. This doesn't have a line for double-sided, but you can just go ahead, copy this line, and just like stick it in somewhere down there in the same sort of section. That's something you can do. I've done it on everything but glass. I don't think I've done it to glass yet. But it should work. I don't know why it's not there. That's weird. But yeah, that's the thing you can do to give yourself your double-sided glass. If that's something you're concerned about in the future, I'm not going to dock you points for that. I just thought that that'd be something interesting to show people. Because I've not really talked about that one before. Looks like I don't know why it has tiny hint of Mustang. It does have a little bit of tiny hint of Mustang. I will agree to that, yeah. It's only 2-meter wheelbase, so it is not really tall, only in comparison. You know what? Let's bring out another car. Let's go with a standardized car. Let's go with a hatchback. You're right. That is very small. But it is as tall as a standard hatchback, almost. Like the under tray. I suppose you're going for the 100mm gap, which is usually the minimum height required for any road vehicle. There is a lot to like on this car. It is one of my more favorite looking cars, but it's still going to be second behind that other car that looks a little bit like that Aston Martin. Taiwan, the car brand is... Okay, good for you. Keep it a little bit on point here. Okay, thank you. We'll use that, definitely. Baby car. The K car Mustang. That would be cool, except there was kind of almost that with a Toyota RA45 Celica or whatever it was. I can't remember exactly. But they had fastback Celica that looked kind of like a Mustang. But it was much smaller, much cheaper, and a 4-cylinder engine. Such small. Much wow. It's not a vehicle for big people. I'm guessing as much. I would probably struggle to fit sideways. Like, my portly nature might struggle to fit in here. Even still. Bucket seats would be great. See, I don't like how flat the hood is. I think the hood, I don't know what limitations you're dealing with or if you like it, but I personally don't like how, like, horizontal the hood is. I hate the top speed. It should not be anywhere near that high. The power feels unnaturally high even though it is very light. It just feels very brutal. Tires don't feel quite right. Something's weird there. Did you try to reduce friction and increase slide friction because this thing would slide too much? Is that what it was? Probably should have just given it less power then. Something more matching to the vehicle. Hammond-sized car? A little bit. The roll bars, they're below the seat. You're right, actually. Those roll bars should be a little bit higher. Headrests usually don't go all the way to the top of the head. So, like, usually a headrest will end, like, kind of right about here. Or at least on me. So the roll bars do need to be higher than the head. Especially if you do roll, you're not, like, strapped into the seat. You're gonna, like, slack out a little bit and your body will move a little bit further higher again. And, it'd be like sandpaper against your head. Zzz, grind it down and kill your passengers. But, not all vehicles that are convertibles that have roll bars are actually roll bars. And the big thing was the Dodge Viper roll bars weren't actually roll bars and were incredibly dangerous, those vehicles. This is a really helpful review. I'm thinking it's somewhere around a 9. But I can't really completely give it a thing because I'm so torn between my loves and hates. I think the rear looks really good though. I love the rear in many, many ways. There's a lot of things to love here. Except for the fact that this thing feels like it has aero, but it doesn't have like proper aero package. It has drag reduction of the wing, but that wing, lip, but that lip is so aggressive that it's just going to create a lot of extra drag anyway. And no rear diffuser looking thing, so I'm a little confused on that. Roll walls are just for short enough to make if you do roll, you can't sue. Sure, because you're dead. Good neck exercise. You like the covet? Okay. The rear looks really good. I do agree as well. I think somewhere around a 9. I'm not going to give you a solid figure because I'm too tired. And if I give the follow-up car another 9, I'll get hate mail. Next car. Hey, we got this one. Let's take this to... Where is there a circuit track? Because I feel like that would be like the most You know what? Not here, but we do have the old automation test track that has the big banked corner, which is very much of the time period of when this car would have existed, to have like massively overbanked corners. Because friction and grip on tires was so bad, their only real option was to just bank the high-speed corners so then they could carry more speed. This thing has a lot of jiggle. I have a fix that I put in a lot of my cars that you can grab out if you want, called Rigida, and in automation it's called Jiggle Fix. Oh, sorry, in BeamNG it's called Jiggle Fix. I suggest using that on a car like this. How many gears does this thing have? I feel that this thing would probably only be like a 2 or 3 speed, maybe? I don't know how many it actually has. I'm questioning everything now because you've actually gone with independent rear suspension as opposed to a solid axle. Well, thanks, Phil. They're quite a bit for me to take a long moving... Okay, my brain isn't working. I can't read properly. I'm dyslexic at the best of times. Oh, God. The turning on this is horrific. And the one-wheel tire fire... Oh, excessive. Alright, that sucks. Let's rewind a bit. And take that again. Can I take this corner properly? So, yes, one-wheel tire fires were very common on these sorts of cars. Oh, this thing is sketch. It's sketch, bro. Oh, dear. Oh dear, you're again far out. Why am I so sleepy? This is cool. I love it. But yeah, it is very much of its time of really slow, really cumbersome, and terrible at handling. What sort of speeds? What do we have? Okay, we have a 4-speed. Actually, we had it up before. What was it? A Type 56, was it? Bugatti Type... Is it a Type 57? No, it was a Type 56, I believe. No? What? Bugatti Type... I can't remember. Images. Let's get rid of that and just go with type. Type 35, was it? Yes, 35. Okay. Do we... Oh, that is... That's the Type 51. Google is trying to psych me out. Type 56 was famous... 1930s, blah, blah, blah. Government supported German and Italian offering. 1931, 160 horsepower. Supercharged, probably an inline 8. Yep, straight 8. Victory in the Grand Prix. 40 examples of it. No. Alright, let's see. Bugatti, Type 51. Actually, does this have, Nope, they don't have a name on it. Transmission. Gearbox. 4-speed gearbox. So it did come with a 4-speed. Okay. Interesting. That would have been like a hey! Welcome, Kanjo, and thank you for the money. My voice is going now. I am very tired. What is happening to my voice? Oh, God. Give me a second. Alright, yeah, my voice is going really badly. Why all the H's in the chat? I'm confused. I'm confuzzled. Pretty blue car? Yes. Thank you for the money. I don't have any sort of like special thing set up yet. I will get that set up eventually. What's H? What's happening? Now you guys are just doing it to psych me out, aren't you? It is always time for the stream of cars with an E. Late for dinner. I'll finally see ya. See you later, Firebird. What is this car? It's meant to be like a Bugatti Type 56. Or whatever that was we were just looking at. I hate you guys. God damn it. Stop trying to confuse me. Ah! Oh dear, the jiggle in this car is horrific. You know what? I would love to take this around like an old school racetrack. Like a really like proper old school. And actually like enjoy it the way it was meant to be. Like what? Not the Mignomelia, but like that a really big racetrack. Spa would be fun. Old Spa, not new Spa. What map do I have? I have the old Le Mans track. Did it go to Le Mans? Let's go back to this. Let's go. Mans. Written or wrong. Oh, it's the Type 51. Wait, I'm confused. All these numbers are confusing me. So it's Type 51. Okay, it did actually go to Old School Le Mans. So let's take it to Old School Le Mans. Hey, Ringo! You're now celebrating your 2 months thing. Now that you got that really lovely looking white bow tie. Type 25? Oh, god damn it, I hate you. Welcome, Joanne Grab. How's it going? Grabby? Grab? It's conventionally coffin-shaped for how dangerous it is. Hey Phil, have you considered using the ring from the stream? What? This car, let's try it out. We'll give it most of a lap. I might to say hi, but my I key stopped working for a sec, then I started the H raid. Huh? Okay, cool, boss. Welcome to the stream, though. Oh, using the rig from the stream. Still, that sentence makes no sense. What do you mean, rig from the stream? You mean for the stream? My steering wheel setup? Not gonna happen for a stream. Unless it's like particularly special. Which, no. We're not there yet. I would have loved to have seen you animate the steering wheel. I do have a video on how to do that. I can now do a steering wheel setup in probably like 10 minutes. Sometimes less, depending. I found a new trick, which I might do a little bit of a follow-up video on how to make it simpler as well, even. You like the hate rate? I still don't know what this hate rate is. I don't know why it's happened, and I don't know why everyone hates me. Why are you confusing me? Alright, let's slow it down for Mossand Street. Oh my god, that got so goddamn close. I am so tired. I'm so easily confused. You hurt my brain, guys. Why you do this to me? Jesus. Okay. Bring it around the sweeper. What's the big corner that happens towards the end of this racetrack? I can't remember. But it is probably going to be really problematic for this car. I'm surprised this thing is going so fast. Hey! More money from people. Thank you, Ringo. I'm really tired. So I'm a little bit low energy today, but thank you very much. Confusing people is fun. Are you doing it deliberately, people? Oh, please don't. I'm way too tired for this. I just want to go to sleep, bro. We're going to make it to the end corner for this track, and then we're going to call it there, because I need to move along and get to sleep ASAP. So we're topping out at about 211 kilometers an hour, which is pretty fast for a car back in these days, especially considering that there is no safety here. There is no nothing. Bug flies by, you're gonna cop like a 200 kilometer an hour bug in the face. What's 210 in... Oh, you know what? Actually, we did that alright. Did pretty well. That was actually much better than what I thought it would be. I'm also... I haven't mentioned it, but I have noticed that it has positive camber on the front, and I love that. Because a lot of these old cars did actually have positive camber on the front. It wasn't until mid-engine became a thing that they stopped putting positive camber on race cars. Brakes could probably do with a bit of tuning. Especially considering these brakes probably would have been absolutely atrocious. Damn it, I was hoping I'd be able to pull up in time. I did start braking super early, but like the lock-ups are so bad. The Bugatti Type 51 was very dangerous, but nonetheless it still holds a record for the most race wins. Really? It is calculated that the car won 14 races a week throughout the... Really? That's a lot of wins, my goodness. Twice the top speed of my car, since it does 106 kilometers an hour. Oh, okay. That was the CVT one, was it? I can't remember. My brain don't work. What does positive camber do, though? So you see there that the tires are like that. Usually on a road car, they'll be like that. And on a sports or a race car, they'll be more like that. Older cars did it like this. It mostly stems from a misunderstanding of how steering worked. But there's also other thought patterns as to why it happens. Nobody really knows why, as far as I've been able to tell. Because there's so many contradictions, and so many people just saying that we just didn't know. And I think the biggest reason as to why it was actually a thing is so then they could have wider front tires but not have the oversteer. So they would put the positive camber on to, or not wider front tires, but bigger front tires, I should say. So then you're not oversteering too much. You're creating a lot of understeer with the positive camber to counteract the fact that these older cars just really love to oversteer way too much. So that was just what they did. Am I wrong, or is this way too fast? Maybe. I don't know. It did feel maybe a smidgen too fast. Top speed. It was a supercharged straight 8, though. 230 kilometers an hour was its actual top speed, apparently. I don't know if it would actually reach that, or if that's just like, that's what the gearing was set to, so they assumed it would reach that, or if it actually reached that, I don't know. So it was 750 kilograms. What do we got here? It's a little over a ton. So pretty darn close. Alright. I like it. I would have rather you used a proper mod body and not this. Let's actually have a look at the Type 51. Images. Yeah, it really feels as if you're like encapsulated. That is a terrible picture. Why is it so low resolution? Once again, an image that doesn't look nearly as bad. I just want a good angle. Weird. Can you load anytime soon? Oh, it's a really small picture anyway. What the fuck? Oh no, it's bigger here apparently. So you see how like this comes right up and around the steering wheel, all that sort of stuff, and really encapsulates the driver. This doesn't feel like that. And part of the reason why it doesn't feel like that is because you've tried to make it out of 3D fixtures when you really didn't need to, because apparently the mod body is in new automation anyway. Unless that's a slightly different mod body, I'm not sure. But that probably would have been a better place to start with. Or maybe this is actually the Type 35 that we were... What was it? Type 37. Type 37. You know what, actually, we could just have a look at his description. It would be in here somewhere anyway. No pictures? Great, thanks. Not that one. Not that one, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Oh, whoever did this one, you, what was it? You didn't put a link in, or you did the wrong link? Yeah, no. No links here. That's why I'm not doing that car, which I probably would have done. Where is this vehicle? Okay. Reddit's being a funny bugger. It's just not showing the car. Oh, no, here we go. 1920s race car. I had previous one, but it did not work. You know, price approximately that much. 900 kilograms, that is incorrect. It is about 144 kilograms more than that. This is a 4.1 liter and not a 2.6 supercharged. Okay. Supercharging mods I've made really simple now. You could have probably done that. What am I looking for? My brain isn't working. Anyway. Really cool car. Feels unfinished, though. Like, you've gotten really close. Seven and a half? I would have loved to have also seen more JB editing. 1, fix the jiggling. 2, put in an animated steering wheel at least. And yeah, that's like a... That will probably get you an extra point, maybe a point and a half. The link for that one was in the next post. That doesn't help me. It's called Puzzle Lagoon P-Link. What are we talking about? I'm confused. Told them to put in the other one. Hit the car though. What? I'm confused. The Type 51 went. 115 miles per hour? Okay. I'm still at the Type 25. I have no idea what you're talking about there, Johan. Are you saying that this is your car? Is it? My brain isn't working. No, this was made by Eberagazeg or whatever. Yeah. Alright, next car is... the Demolition Derby car. So let's take that to West Coast. And there's the Derby sort of areas there. Dirt track. We'll take the Derby track. Probably not really the best place. But then we'll take it to the figure 8 area and just try smashing it into things. Because that sort of looks like it's fun to do. Also, I don't know how to put a link in post with pictures. Put it in a chat comment below it. If you can't figure it out, that's fine. Does it help rear brake lock increasing the front brake force? Does it even have front brakes? A lot of these cars didn't have four-wheel brakes. Alright. If you want to know how brake tuning actually affects car handling, I do have a video on brake tuning. You don't need to follow it if you want to have a actually bad handling vehicle. That is entirely your choice. But yeah. To 35, 37, and 39? What? Welcome Kyle Hammer to the stream. I'm so tired. Oh, we've broken a wheel. I think that's part of the problem of having like the super wide body. Oh, sorry, the super wide tires coming out of the body like that. You got no protection for them. nicely. This is just clearing jumps almost perfectly every time. And then slight touch to the wall, and... oh no, we didn't bend the steering that time. Almost. This is quite powerful, though. More powerful than what I was expecting it to be. Can we make it over the jump, though? Yeah, no, I think we got enough power. Coolant is overheating. Oh my god, the engine is overheating already. Love it. That's fantastic. Did I burst the radiator or something? Or is it just, that's how this car is designed? Because if so, that's fantastic. Alright, let's take it now to the figure 8. However we get there, I can't remember. Where is the figure 8? The figure 8's over there. I know how to get there. There, done. Engine is nice and cool now. Oh, wow, this thing heats up quick. Oh my goodness. It doesn't really seem to get heat soak, though. That's weird. Oh, no, it does get heat soak. It's just gradual. Interesting. Someone Google Translate of the story of the Beatles. What are we talking about now? Harry Hedgehog, if you post it now, it will be in next week. Yeah, that's the thing. Sixfold said it was deliberately J-beamed to be awful. Okay. I was talking about Bugatti types. Sure. Anyway, let's try crashing this thing, because that's what it looks like this vehicle is made to do. Can we go? No, okay. Not 100 times. Let's just go 16 times. Now 100 times. We're right there. We'll see how this thing crumples under the pressure of a crash barrier. Nice. Except, doesn't this thing have like really thick, solid iron bars in the whole thing? Wouldn't that like prevent crumple zones from working properly like this? Anyway. Well, it still works, and still steers. Great. Love it. I was talking about, the rear looks like a Daytona, but broken. A little bit, yeah, I do agree with that. Mostly it's the wing, though. So, why the overheating? I don't know. I'm not an expert. I didn't make this car. Do you have any other J-beaming? No. Just the overheating engine and whatnot. This car is pretty cool. It's really fun. I love the exhaust and whatnot. Would have loved if they had made multiple pipes stick out, though. That would have been cool. Like a tube per header on what I'm assuming is the V8. Welcome, Bone King. Hey, that looked pretty good. It was pretty fun. Welcome to the stream. Because it's a saved from scrap car, so it's awful. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Nice lore behind it. Nice little bit of coding extra stuff that you've done to make it overheat and whatnot. Or maybe you just found a way to make it export with bad calling. I don't know. Octane, that's the original car was? Oh, is this actually based off of the Daytona, is it? Oh, interesting. Okay. I didn't know that. I've never seen a Daytona in real life, so I've only ever seen it in, like, the occasional movie or whatever. Oh, you know what I didn't notice last time? The fact that the wing is also held on by a chain. That's fine. What is the chain linkage? Like, what fixture did they use? Is that just... Is that just a ring? Is that? Oh, I don't know. I might have to actually call this and pick the stream up another time. I'm really tired. Oh, God. 9 out of 10, love it. But it's like a one-trick pony, so less. Okay, Phoenix P1. It's not a looker at all. In fact, it's probably one of the more ugly ones I've ever had submitted. Because it's just so bland and not finished really in any way. At least you got the wheel vents kind of in the right place. Thanks for having you. That's alright, man. Okay, we have some sort of DCT. Let's turn S off for now and see how it handles. Did they try to put a rear window in? Weird. Alright. I suppose that's a choice. Brakes suck. That's right, because it's mid-engine, but yet for some reason they put all the brake force up the front, didn't they? A little bit snap oversteery. Handling is okay, though. Washes out under braking as well, which would indicate that the thing has too much of a front brake bias. Watch my video on brake tuning if you're the person that made this car, please. Its cornering ability is not bad, but its tune is pretty bad. There's some understeer characteristics also that I feel you could tune out. 5 out of 10. It's not the worst handling car. There's considerably worse very often submitted to me. But unrefined, unfinished, design leaves a lot to be desired. Yeah, 5 out of 10. I do believe you could do a much better job. I talked about it earlier in the stream. Gave you a whole bunch of different pointers. That's when my power went out. I came back. Still talked about things you could have done. But yeah, not a fan, unfortunately, for you. Small body, compact Lights for passenger. Weird name. Okay. Anytime now. Let's go take this over to do some hill driving. You know, actually, let's bring it here. That's not the right place to do that. That's the right place to do that. I am fading so bad right now. I am having to, like, double think everything that I'm pressing on my keyboards and whatnot because I keep going to press the wrong thing. My god, this thing is way too jiggly. Oh my god. I don't mind jiggly, but that is too jiggly. This is horrific. This thing needs much better shock absorbers. I don't know if the real car is like this, but that was bad. And it's very prone to oversteer. So, the two issues you've got here for lots of oversteer. One, short wheelbase. Two, rear-wheel drive. Either one of those will induce a lot of oversteer. You've got both. So this thing is very prone to oversteer. How do I get up there? My brain working? Am I missing something? What? Am I in the wrong part of the road? Ah, yeah, it's just in the wrong part of the road. I am so sleep deprived right now. Merker! Yeah, it does seem very American suspension. Like, wallowy means soft, right? Made to handle like the real gremlin? Oh, okay. Interesting. Alright, I'm off to sleep, Phil. You should sleep. I really should. Drink lots of water usually helps me getting tired. I did drink water. I have drunk a lot of water. I am not thirsty. I based the handling out of... Oh, is this actually your car? Okay. Oh god, this thing is way too prone to oversteer. I based the handling out of a Road and Track magazine reviewing the Gremlin. Did they say that this thing is prone to snap oversteer very often? Because this thing is very prone to oversteer. It's also maybe a little too wallowy. You should probably should have based it off of videos of it instead of a written thing. Because you don't get a full idea of how the car is actually. On a steering wheel, it's way less snappy. Oh, okay. It really likes to check that back around. I feel that you got like some sort of weird weight distribution, maybe. Love the tires though. Tires look fantastic. Oh dear. Oh god. Oh, I'm so tired. Far out, bro. I have been up now for 23 hours. God damn it. My reflexes are so dulled and slow, I cannot bring it back from snap oversteering. But you get a bad driver behind the wheel of this car, and they're going to do exactly the same thing. Night, fellas. Have a good... Okay, see you later, E-Dragon. It does that because there is nothing over the rear axles. Feels a little bit like that. What is the weight distribution? Let's pull up on some flat ground here. Usually fuel stations have to be flat ground. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's considerably more in the front than the rear. That's amazing. Alright. Suspension way too wobbly for my liking. Handling little too snap oversteery for me in my current position as a sleepy boy. Do we have J-beaming? Is that something I should take into consideration? No. Oops, apparently I crashed it at some point. I don't even remember doing that. I do like the wheels a lot that you've done the, like, tire riding on it. Eight and a half out of 10? 8 out of 10. Perfect score, 8 out of 10. Gonna have one of those each stream. Does that because there's nothing over there. Just like the real car, oh, it also has custom transmission torque converter. Oh, okay then. 8.6. I would have passed out if I were you. I'm so sleepy. I'm so sleepy. I really should pick this up another time, but I've only got 3 more cars to do. That took me a little too long to count. Let's take this back over to the racetrack, because I don't want to take this around the road. BMWs are not, safe. I don't know. My brain isn't working. They just feel like they're better on track than on the road. Is this all-wheel drive? Yes. Is this that transverse V6? Yes, it is. This is the transverse V6. So, big, heavy, chunky engine at the front, twin turbo making it even heavier, all-wheel drive. It's probably going to understeer quite badly, but no, they've got good tuning here. Okay, nice. I was expecting with the, really forward weight, with a really heavy engine and all-wheel drive, that this thing would be just quite understeering. I think they've fixed a lot of the understeering nature by inducing a bit of oversteer, I'm assuming, with brake tuning, because I feel that... No, it does understeer under braking. No, my bad. My brain no worky do good. Oh, we got Ruben here? Okay then. Hey Ruben. I'm so sleepy. I'm so tired. You'll be live streaming just as you finish up? Oh, cool, okay. Automation, not automation? What? I'm so confused. I almost made good brakes, just need a little bit more force. Probably a little bit more on the rear. Maybe add like extra 20% force on the rear. That's like in JB editing. You know what? Let's do that. Control E. No, I meant to go Control W. Rear brake force. Let's go 120% on the rear. And see how this thing handles now as we're going to head into one of the most intense brake sections in this entire map. So I say most intense because you're going the highest speed, but I'm not straight out saying it's the most intense because the other one that's like tied probably for the most intense braking point is at the end of the start-finish straight, which is not as high as speed, but you are going downhill the entire way. Your brakes are cooking in one brake sitting. How? It was refreshed before I started that start-finish line. You probably only need like 2 to 4 pistons, probably don't need 6. That might be adding to it. Even if you need to go like 2 piston, and then yeah, you got 6 piston on the front and 4 piston on the rear, but even smaller on the rear discs. Yeah, automation really likes your discs to be much bigger than the brakes. That didn't come out right. They really want there to be, like, the most important thing is to have the biggest disc. On a sports car, that's going to be a lot more important. On a road car, yes, size it down. Like, you may be tempted just to put in the biggest brakes. That's what I used to do. Then I realized that a lot of cars really undersize their brakes compared to what automation will allow. How I made zip? Okay. How long you be? I don't know, maybe an extra half an hour to an hour. Automation makes the .zip if you for you when you export. Yeah. Don't zip a .car. Don't do it. People who did that this week, no. It's a no. Don't do that. Let's call this car down. So, brakes are at 24 degrees now. And we're going to do one brake from top speed. A car should be able to do, like a non-high-end sports car, should probably be able to do 2 to maybe 3 brakes in a row. Alright. Yep. Well over 400 and it lost brake efficiency. That is really bad. I don't know how you've managed that, but yeah. So, go less pistons, bigger disc brake size, unless you don't want to go full disc brake size, which is entirely understandable. Automation allows brake numbers that are way too big for what you should normally be having. The other thing you could do then is increase the pad type. More aggressive pad type is less comfortable, sure, for the driver, but it is a lot more effective. So, there's a lot to like about this car. Acceptable body roll. Little bit stiffer shocks, maybe. The springs themselves are fine. Brakes are atrocious. If you sold this car, you would get really unhappy people. There's only the few little design details which I brought up earlier. One of which being this vent on the side there. Not happy with that. The back end looking a little bit squared off a little too much in some places. Like it just looks a little bit juxtaposition between the things. Like this is nice and round, but then you got like these hard lines. I'm not sure what they're meant to be here. And then these hard sharp lines going with a semi-rounded sort of tail-like housing. It's a bit of a mismatch. Maybe what you could do here, give you a little bit of a thing, is I'm assuming this is fixtures, right? Yeah. So these are just fixtures. Let me turn the indicators off. Just put like 3 or 4 of them in to make the curve instead of just having the thing there. That'd do a much better job. Is that supposed to be a Camry? I would have thought it would have been more like a BMW crossed with some sort of American vehicle. Not sure. Mr. Philman, would you gladly give me a random car to build for the live stream so I can send it to the Reddit afterwards? I challenge you to make a non-hybrid LMH car, which means you're limited to 500 kilowatts, 1,030 kilograms, no more than 2 meters wide, so you'll have to use the ruler and scale it out to 2 meters to make sure. No more than 5 meters long. Do like a full Aston Martin Valkyrie. There we go. Do a full open body Aston Martin Valkyrie sort of body style, where this is like really, really open. Oh, wow. I think that's the biggest donation I think we've had so far in this. And that's in pounds as well. Thank you, Connor Hall, and welcome to the stream. Yeah, do that. You've asked for a challenge. I've given you one of the hardest things to do. Give that a try. The stream is most unfinished. What? This is Ruben here. My Google Pay is still... Oh, that's you, Ruben. Oh, thanks for the buddy. Oh, now I feel bad for, like, giving you a really freaking hard challenge. That's a lot. Okay, if you don't want to do that, we're actually talking a lot about the new Aston Martin Victor. Absolutely stunning car. I would say it's probably too hard to replicate something this stunning in automation as automation currently stands. So, instead, Vantage 1977. Go the 1970s Vantage. Do that. We've got something similar to it that I'm reviewing today, but I think more of this. Radial tires. This will be like early radial tires. Probably independent rear suspension. Could still be a solid axle, actually. A big... No, actually, not a big V8. But like, more power than torque. So like a higher cam profile. It's a good challenge. Maybe I'll make it into a video instead. Alright. They're really hard to do. Let me break it out again. No, okay, 3D modeling. This is how I intend to do these in the future. I have a few different versions of this. Yeah. So, just model it in Blender. That's how I'm doing it. But this whole LMH thing, I'm going to be having probably... 6 to 9 cars, I think, in this pack when it's all said and done. And they'll all go up together at the same sort of time, and I'll probably do a video with everyone on it. But yeah. It's really hard to do cutaways. So, probably not easy. And yeah. If you want to do something a little bit more simple, something like this. Do like the front where it's like nice and aggressive with the bonnet line that come down and whatnot. Mwah. You know, it's a little bit taller than what you would expect a normal sports car to be, but also still somehow really short in the body, feeling nice and stanced and powerful. Something cool. Something really cool like that. That's a little rude and brash. Not to you, Philman. What? Would rather watch Ruben stream? Oh, B-Set is upset with me. I think... I can't remember why. Something to do with me getting upset because I'm tired and sleepy. You make these models by hand, Phil? Sometimes, yes. Built it all out in fixtures? Built what out in fixtures? I'm confused. Oh, you're talking about build the Aston Martin Valkyrie out of fixtures. That might actually be possible, yeah. But also a nightmare. If somebody wants to make something like the Aston Martin Valkyrie with proper aerodynamics and everything on how like the under tray and the front is like got wings on it and then the big open area and then into the rest of the vehicle and then do a full interior as well, I'd give you really high marks. If you've done a good job, that is. I'm finished with my vehicle. Remind me again how to package it when I post it. At the end of automation, when you're done all of the tabs, it'll have a button there that says export to BeamNG. Go to that. I'm so tired right now. And gassy as well, because I had cheese earlier. 7 to 7.5. There's just some design I don't like. The front is very angular. But the rest of the car is only kind of angular. But the front is only angles, really. There's only a little bit of a curve here, a little bit of a curve there. Everything else feels really sharp, which doesn't feel like it fits with the rest of the car. I do like a lot of it, though. Do we have any J-beaming here? Not by the looks of it. Alright. Yep, I like it, but there's more work to be done. Fix those brakes. That's probably actually most of it. Yeah, just fix the brakes. Control E. Next car is... Hey, here we go. This is the car which I said looks a little bit like the old Aston Martin Vantage. It just looks nice. I just like it. I'm going to move it around so we got some light on the back end here. Except we're not really on flat ground, so it's a little bit hard to see. But yeah, I like that. That's a good looking car. Very basic. But it just looks good. I just like it. I need to use this body. I don't know what body this is, but I need to use it. B-Set do be here being rude again. I was sure they can be upset if they want. When do you think those bodies will be done and released? nowhere near, because I'm also trying extra things out with them. They're also incredibly hard to work with. I didn't show you there, but the UV unwrapping process, which is usually really hard to do, a goddamn nightmare on those things. Oh my god. The unwrapping on them is just hellaciously bad. Sort of want to try and make own endurance team through the decade sort of thing. Oh, cool. This reminds me of the first Skyline-ish. Yeah, I see that. Early Princes. Pretty cool, yeah. I get that. I like it, but a little bit understeery sometimes. I love the, I don't know what you call it. It's a little bit loud. I feel that a lot of people wouldn't like these cars being so loud, and they might get, like, in trouble with police or regulators or whatever. A 5-speed. Okay. But I like how earnest the power feels in this. Alright, we're coming up to some corners now. We're going to see how it actually handles. Not actually done a full test. A little bit locky-uppy, but that's okay. Pulls up a lot quicker than what you expect. It's probably because you're going much slower than what you expect. Yeah, I get you. Take your time. Oh, yeah, about the cars. Then it's just really slow. Brakes are a little bit biased to the front, but these would be a little bit biased to the front. I think I'm just going to tune it a little bit more to have a little bit more rear bias on the brakes. To do that instead, though, I'm going to reduce the front brakes. Let's take off about 15%-ish on the front. Gee, please, devs. Fix your game. Please, goddamn. Alright. No braking here, but we will have it in the next chicane, which is coming up. And we'll get our full experience. Kind of full. It's not really a sharp chicane. We'll see if we keep washing out. Okay, there we go. That time a little too much brake on the rear. But, you know, not the worst thing. It's doing okay. Works nicely. We're going to see how it does now under stressful braking. Even though this is drum brakes all around, it's getting less brake fade than the previous car. That is hilarious. I absolutely love it. You know, one thing I want to do? I'm going to do like a brake testing to see whether changing brake pressure in BeamNG actually reduces the brake thermal impact. The thermal impact on the brakes, I should say. My brain is not working very well. I'm so tired. Alright. I like it. I think it's much better looking than what it is driving. I just like it. Am I wrong to say that this actually looks, even though really simple, really good? Is it just me, or is this like I'm not too ashamed to say that I feel that this is my favorite car of this stream, looks-wise. Car is car. You don't care so much? I like it. But it is a bit gutless. What is the engine in it again? Looks like an old Fiat, kind of. I wouldn't say it's that ugly. That's a bit insulting. Oh, that's right. It's got the manifold. I was thinking of giving it a 9, but now it gets an 8. Which is high praise. That's the best score in the world. Where do you edit brakes in JBeam? I wasn't talking about editing it in JBeam. I was talking about changing it in here. You go in here and you just change the brake power. New automation allows you just to have these settings here and you can just change them wherever. If you wanted to change it manually in the JBeam, you would go into suspension for the front or the rear, and then go down to the brake section, and they'll have their one like brake force torque or brake torque. I think it might be called. really sure, I don't remember. But you go in there and you change the value. The value is currently a mathematical equation, so you'd only change the normal part. Or if you don't want to have like the sliders work anymore, just remove all of the things in quotations for the number and the math part and just have the number that you want. Simple is good, not always, but yeah, I like it. I like this a lot. They've done a good job playing into the strengths of the body. Is good, you like, is cool. It's realistic, but I wouldn't say looks great. Ah, okay. Fair enough. What was the engine again? Did it have front-wheel drive? That's right, this was a front-wheel drive with a solid axle. That's weird. That's straight up weird. Also, window wipers on the window. That bugs me. That bugs me a lot. Also, that windshield wiper is on the wrong way for a left-hand drive car. The main reason that is because you see the angle on it? When it gets around to this side, it's going to angle up like that. And it's not going to get the full clean effect. This should have been mirrored the other way. And it should have been further down the hood. Angled up. Yeah, just not on the window. God damn it. Interior is not complete either. I don't believe there's any J-beaming. Yeah, no. I think 8 out of 10 is fair enough for this car. I love it. I think it's really nice to look at. I'd put a poster of that on my wall. Last car, the Toyota Challenger? No. I can't remember. Was it... Is it actually written there? Charger? No, it's not a Toyota Charger. But they do have Charger written on it. So, designs are questionable, is how I'm going to put that. If you're wondering, like, yeah, you do usually want this to be a much more aggressive sort of thing. Put in that dent line that I was talking about. Chaser? Ah, Chaser, okay. This thing is gutless off the line. Was this the one with, like, the really weird turbo shapes and sizes? Yes. So, they were trying to go for, like, bringing the boost down to happen at an earlier time. Let's see if we can figure out when that is. That's the wrong button. Wow, that turbo comes in at, like, really low RPM. And maxes out at like 3,500 RPM, which is not realistic for a car of this era. These cars, the turbo probably kicks in at like 3,000 to 4,000 RPM, not max turbo by 3,000 to 4,000 RPM. F1 race was awesome. What F1 race? And also, welcome Aaron F. If I haven't said hello to you yet. God damn it, I suck at driving. I'm so tired. I'm a sleepy puppy. I think next time I'm this tired, I'll just stream earlier in the day, I think. That's probably how I do that. Be how I do that. Ooh. Nice oversteery nature. Yes, I was able to link those up. Nice. I wonder if this is actually meant to be a drift car and not a road car. Because this, so far, is not particularly a road car. F1 is on, I think. Oh! Sorry, you mean the one that's happening in real life. This thing is incredibly prone to oversteer. Let's see if that's actually in the description. If not, this guy get a big fail. I might turn on the race and go to sleep to listening to it or something. Who knows? No. 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 What was that? No. Where is you? No. No, no, no. Is it because it's beyond a week now? No, not that one. Oh, here it is. Okay. The Yotota Charger. They've written it that way because if you read it backwards, it actually spells out a Totoyo. Atotoy. There we go. That's what I meant to say. My brain completely failed me. Don't judge me. Hello, SBR SDX. If I hadn't said hello yet, you've come for the last car. Anyway, 2.5 liter variable valve timing turbo input at 100 and blah blah 1.4 something tons longitudinal rear-wheel drive. My best attempt at recreating the Toyota Chaser. Compete with third gen. Okay. You haven't said that you've made this to be a drift car. This car is incredibly unstable. Incredibly. Automation and BeamNG are not the same game. So when you see things in automation and you think it looks good there and it gets to BeamNG and it sucks, you have to change things. And you have to change it upon feel. If you want to know how to do it, I made a video that should be quite concise on how to do it. This one right here. Film Lane 86 suspensions all over your face. Check out that video. Will help you out. But this car is really unstable there. Like, not even trying, and the thing just got a little bit of a kick out just then. Kitty, no, see ya. What? Is somebody leaving? Hey, Groundhog, welcome. Falls into chat, you've joined when I'm too sleepy. You're judging me heavily? This song is oddly fitting. Gotta go, the cat got into somewhere he shouldn't and has made a mess of. Oh, okay then. See you later, Yuri Castro. Hey, Mayhem Entertainment. Welcome back for the final car. Alright. Let's see how it does under a braking zone. Nope, we don't get to see how it is under a braking zone. The car is dangerously unstable. But then again, if this is meant to be a luxury car, you're not driving it very fast, but you can't tell people, hey, don't drive very fast, because people will do what they do. Ha! That shouldn't have been happening. So, the problem is you got to imagine this thing is just wanting to oversteer at every point. You got to imagine that idiots at some point will be in charge of driving your cars that you've made. And if we're talking like in real life. And if those people crash, guess who gets blamed for that? The manufacturer. So, this car is dangerous and oversteering. I am not trying to oversteer, and this thing is just going at every instance. So, yeah. I don't know what you've done exactly, but it's pretty bad. So. Change those design things that I talked about earlier, and just then... maybe do a little bit of brake tuning, but also suspension tuning in just general. And the engine is coming on power way too early for a car of this era. But yeah, that's about it. Will you do an MG repair stream? Yes. No. Video? Yes. But that'll be on my other channel. When I do it on the other channel, I'll start spruiking that channel again. If you want to see what the channel is that it'll be on, I think it's Aussie Phil. It's just really bad weather at the moment, so I'm not going to be doing any of that sort of stuff. But yeah, I re-uploaded the 4,000 kilometer video. There's a whole bunch of other things if you want to have a look here. I did some streams of like repairing cars and whatnot. You can go check out that one if you want. But that's where that stuff will be going. As for this car, a 4 out of 10. It is actually on the bad side of the midway point. I'm about to get the live stream running. Okay, people. You can mosey your way over to Ruben's channel. They're going to be streaming today. Yeah, here we go. Ruben, go check them out. Worth a watch if you like really chill things, like this stream has been, right, for the last little while, because I am so goddamn tired. Don't even know you had another channel. Yeah, I have other channels. But yeah, I'm done for now. I'm gonna go... and call it a night. I hope you have all enjoyed today's stream, but I know not everyone did, and I'm sorry. I am so tired and sleepy. I'm a grumpy little sleepy boy. Also a little bit grumpy about my haircut, but oh well. It's very, very specific, huh? Do you have that channel in the description? I can put a link in there. So, go check that out. I'm signing off. Thank you everyone for joining. Catch you next time. Goodbye. Hold on, there's actually an outro screen that I have now. I should just mention, Gens and God Tempest should be in their own little section because they are the second tier, not the first tier. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for all the support and for hanging around.